Welcome. This is Go Math 4th grade, Chapter 8. Today we are going to look at 8.3, multiply a fraction by a whole number using fractions. We want to know, how do you use a model to multiply a fraction by a whole number? And before we begin, I want to introduce you to my wonderful dog. This is Dolce. She's part Chihuahua, part Dachshund, and yes, she's a Chiweenie. Now suppose I wanted to show a model using fifths. What would that look like? Well, essentially we could take any shape. We're going to use this because it has 5 sides, and that shape is called a pentagon. So suppose we wanted to say, okay, let's go take Dolce out on a walk for 4/5 of an hour. We would shade in 4 of those 5 parts, like this. And yeah, we use the word shade, but we're not talking about this shade. What happens if you take a fraction and everything is shaded in? That is called one whole. Not this kind of whole. I'm talking about a whole, W-H-O-L-E. Now let's see if we can use a model to multiply 3 times 3/4. So let's take a random instrument like this saxophone. Just kidding. It's a tuba. Just kidding again. It is a violin. And I wanted to take a random name, someone who can play violin. Let's randomly pick a name like Ryan. So let's say Ryan has a recital in 3 days and wants to dedicate 3/4 of an hour every single day to practice on his violin until the recital. So we can use models to show that. We can use 3 of those models right here to show 4/4 with 3/4 shaded in. And I know what you're thinking, Miss Galopon, why aren't the shaded parts the same in all of them? Well, I did that on purpose because sometimes you'll see math books or math activities where they actually just rotate the image and they're the same. I just wanted you to make sure that you knew that. These 3 images are the same. They don't look the same. They're just rotated. Keep that in mind with math. So let's add up all these parts. We have 3/4 right here. We add this. Now we have 6/4 right here. So we have 6 of these parts shaded in. And now we have 9 of these parts shaded in. So you could count individually how many you have. But can you use repeated addition to get 9/4? And the answer is yes. We can add 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 3/4 to get 9/4. And I want to show you that where did the 9 come from? Well, it came from adding these 3's together. But you could also multiply 3 times 3 because that's what multiplication is. It's repeated addition, but you knew that. So if we go on, we can multiply 3 times 2. We get 6. So the answer would be 6/5. Over here, we multiply 4 times 2. The answer would be 8/8. And anytime you have a fraction where the numerator and the denominator are the same, the answer is always equals to 1. 5 times 2 is 10. And the answer is 10/3. We keep that denominator the same. Over here, the answer will be 15/12. But you can't see, my head is there. Now, how do you multiply a fraction by a whole number? Well, you multiply the whole number times the numerator. Let's show you right there. There's the whole number, numerator, and that gives us 15. 3 times 5 is 15. And the denominator, you'll see, stays the same. You multiply the whole number and the numerator, and you keep the denominator the same.